Hi, thank you for watching this video. This video is from interviewdot.com. I'm going to explain you one of the important Java thread interview question. How does synchronization works? See, please listen carefully. Synchronization works with locks. Every Java object has a built-in lock that only comes into play when the object has synchronized method code. So when we enter synchronized method, we automatically acquire the lock associated with the current instance of the class whose code we are executing. I want to repeat this again. We will acquire the lock associated with the current instance of the class whose code we are executing. Acquiring a lock for an object is also known as getting the lock, locking on the object, synchronizing on the object. Since there is only one lock per object, if one thread has picked up the lock, no other thread can pick up the lock until the first thread releases or returns the lock. This means no other thread can enter the synchronized code until the lock has been released. Typically, releasing a lock means the thread holding the lock. In other words, the thread currently inside the synchronous method exits the synchronous method. At that point, the lock is free. So when you enter the synchronous method, you get the lock. When you come out of the synchronous method, you are releasing the lock for the other threads to access the same synchronous method. The lock is free until some other thread enters a synchronous method on that object. I just want to give you an example so that it will be better for you to understand. See, I have a method which is not synchronized. I have a method which is synchronized. I have another method which is synchronized. So what I've done is, for this class I have, for example, within a thread, okay, I want to I'm creating an object, and for that object we have a lock, okay. uh, then we are calling display synchronized. So this is the method, which is a synchronized method. So whenever I enter this method, okay, whenever I enter this method, I obtain the lock for this object. So please remember this sentence. I obtain the lock. Whenever I call this method, I obtain the lock. When I enter this method, I obtain the lock for this instance of this class. So when I come out of this method, I release the lock, okay, so that other threads can enter this method. One more point here I want to say is, see, when you enter object display sync, okay, no other thread can enter this method, because synchronized method, no other thread can enter. See, the interviewer might be asking you, boss, one synchronous method, the first thread is accessing it. Is it possible for T2 to enter the other synchronized method for the same instance in the class? You should say, for the same instance, the T2 cannot enter any of the synchronized method within the class. Okay, you obtain the lock means you obtain the lock for that object. That means any other thread cannot enter any of the synchronized method within the class. Okay, hope this is useful to understand for how synchronization works in Java thread. Okay, if you're looking for a job opportunity within India, kindly submit your resume using the following link. We will do the needful to find out the right job based on your skill set. Hope this video is useful for your interview preparation. This video is from interview.com team. Thank you.